Hi everyone, my name's Louisa Warde. I'm really excited to be able to talk to you today. I'm going to share my screen so that I can talk through this presentation on how I feel that mindfulness can be incorporated in drama teaching really easily. So firstly, a bit about mindfulness. I'm not going to talk through everything as I know we haven't got very long, but I love that quote from John Kabat-Zinn, that mindfulness is about being alive and knowing it. And how key is that to the idea of drama and the teaching of drama? I think they go hand in hand. Obviously, mindfulness is something that's relatively new, but has still been recognised as a really powerful tool to be helping people. And we can see from the statistic that I think we're probably all quite aware of, this idea that 1 in 3 young people will experience an anxiety disorder. Mindfulness can offer both staff and students the opportunity to just change the kind of emotional weather of the classroom, if you like, the kind of emotional environment. And it has so many benefits, as you can see there. Karen Austin Gertzberg, the quote, the idea at the bottom, is really kind of saying that ideally it would be a whole school approach to mindfulness. It wouldn't just be one person. And so what I'm saying today is that I'm not suggesting you should be teaching mindfulness. We're drama teachers, but I'm talking about how mindfulness can be kind of seamlessly incorporated into our drama teaching, and how I believe that actually the two go hand in hand really nicely, because drama has that unique opportunity to look at human connection, look at the world, look at the human condition, and it's really important we're aware of our bodies and aware of our minds, and we're kind of emotionally ready with drama. And also just the structure and the space of the lesson can lend itself really nicely to the practice of mindfulness incorporated into drama teaching. Lastly then, from Kabat-Zinn, this idea of awareness, the awareness that emerges through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, which I just think drama really is all about, if you think about what we're getting our young people to do. So a couple of ideas for incorporating mindful practice. This idea of settling your body, using the tapping, can be really powerful. You just tap your thumb to each finger in turn, and you can put a mantra with it. I am calm now. Say it again and again and again, getting quieter and quieter. And the young people can lead that, and that can be really good as well when young people are expecting a certain practice at the start of the lesson, then they just get into that habit without even thinking about it. And it's so important to settle your minds and your bodies before a practical lesson, after maybe the chaos of break time or lunch time. Also, this idea of setting your intentions, that I believe is really important. Now, when you start a mindfulness practice, you kind of do a bit of a body scan. You kind of just take a moment to just understand where you are at that time. And what hurts, what feels good, where am I, what are my intentions, what are my kind of aims for what I'm wanting to bring to this session. Now, obviously, we do lesson objectives that are brought in by the teacher to the young people into the lesson. But what about that young person having ownership of where they are and how able they are to connect with what's going to be happening? Often young people come to a lesson and they're just not ready, are they, to learn? They're not able to and receptive to be able to bring what is needed to that lesson, but because they haven't had that time to reflect and to settle themselves and to actually tune into what's going on with themselves, they don't realise that they're kind of in self-sabotage mode. I think it's so important to give young people a chance to be able to reflect on that. Finally, this idea of practicing gratitude. I would say every lesson, you know, at the start or at the end, get our young people used to celebrating the small things, recognising those positives and being able to kind of focus in on those, especially when everything else around them just feels like it's too much. And I think that goes hand in hand if you think about when we watch a piece of drama, or we're trying to kind of create that collaborative ethos in the room, to be able to celebrate each other and appreciate those things. those little moments is just so important. Think about moments of dramatic action and how that can actually, you can incorporate this idea of celebrating that moment of being alive. Finally, I'd urge you and us as practitioners to really think about how mindfulness can enrich our own lives. Teaching is one of the most stressful jobs in the world, so much pressure, and we can't, it's a giving profession, isn't it? We can't give if we are empty in ourselves. So really giving ourselves the opportunity to connect with ourselves, to understand what's going on in our own minds and bodies, and to do that regularly means that we're going to be able to respond much better to the situations that are literally sometimes thrown at us. So I gave you some websites there, hopefully you caught those. Finally, I just think that teaching is one of the most powerful jobs in the world, with shaping young lives and minds. And those lives and minds are watching us, they are sensing, they are picking up our messages that we're giving without even realizing it sometimes. So let's try and give ourselves that space to be comfortable within ourselves and to be attuned into what we need, because then we can pass that on to our young people, their families, our colleagues, so that we can all hopefully collectively just be happier and more successful in the lives that we have and what we're doing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry it was a bit of a gallop through, but if you've got any questions, please do get in touch, especially with any of those techniques if you want any more information about those. Thank you very much.